Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, happy Monday to you. This is Heather Hope. Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur podcast. If you're new here, welcome. If you are an oldie but goodie, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you very much. Come over to YouTube, my YouTube channel called the same name. It's not called the same name. It's called The Inspired Entrepreneur. It's my YouTube channel. I upload these podcasts every single morning. So whichever is easier for you to listen to as a podcast or to come over to YouTube and have it come up in your feed there. But if you want to say hi, stop over to YouTube and say hi in one of my comments. I would love to hear from you. Okay, guys. So The Inspired Entrepreneur, it is a book, 366 Days of Inspiration for the Entrepreneur. What that basically means is that I talk about the law of attraction when it comes to business. I can have lots of episodes that I never even talk about business, but it's all the same. Like how you manifest one thing is how you manifest all the things. And one of the best ways to figure out more and more how this works is to look at how you've manifested in other areas. We typically have some stronger areas than others. Like money is typically an area that people struggle with. And sometimes, or a lot of times, relationships are too. And money and relationships are very similar, very, very similar topics. So I talk about manifestation essentially, but the book was geared because I was a law of attraction business coach for a couple of years. It's geared towards entrepreneurs, but you don't have to be one. Okay, so let's jump into it. February 1st. Oh, I love having the first of the month on a Monday. Love it. So happy Monday to you. Let's jump into today's message from the book, February 1st. Let me see what it says. I think it's short. No, it's long. Okay. The life you keep living is the life you are a vibrational match to. If you want to change your life, you must change it vibrationally first. That's the key to having more in your life. So you have to. It's kind of similar to yesterday's message. Well, we talk about this all the time, right? Like if you keep living the same day over, the same year over and over and over and over, it's only because you're very focused in the now. Is that correct? I was going to say, because that sounds like something that we're taught to do, right? Live in the now. Well, be happy in the now. But, or you're focused on yesterday, or you're focused on, so this is something that I catch myself in probably daily, of looking around my house, looking at the dishes or looking at the floor that needs to be swept, or that's like looking at the now, looking at the current reality every day. So when I look at the current reality every day, like the current, like in my house, messy floor, current reality, and I keep focusing on that and I get mad about it or annoyed or grossed out or whatever it is, that's focusing on the now. So I catch myself every single day doing this. Like I catch myself and then I change it. So what I do, catching myself in this current reality that I don't like, I will switch my thought to, oh, wow, in our new house, there's an apartment downstairs where our live-in housekeeper will be living. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be how it's going to be anymore, but because I think I just recently changed it to my writer's retreat, the apartment downstairs in the house that we're manifesting right now. But anyway, the original plan was there's a whole apartment downstairs, beautiful bedroom, kitchen, little, perfect studio type of place. Yeah, that's where the live-in housekeeper, because I've been saying for a while that we're going to have a live-in housekeeper to keep track of my husband and my dog. Not me, of course, but them. And that's the only way that any of this is going to continue to work. I joke about that. It's just gonna be a really nice thing to have, having someone hopefully that we never really see very often, and that like kind of like magic at night, that this magical fairy of a housekeeper is gonna come up the stairs and magically clean my house overnight without hearing anything. I have fans on, so it's like it's always white noise in my room. So it's possible. We'll shut the doors and she can clean the house, and then when we wake up in the morning, it's all beautiful and clean again, and that's just how it is. So I keep something like that. I kind of made all of that up, but I always think like, she's going to pop out when we're at another side of the house. Like the house that we're manifesting is 20,000 square feet. So it's a big house. And like I lose my husband all the time in this house that we have. We have 5,200 right now, and I do it on purpose. Like I'll catch a corner, like if he's like trying to catch me, I'll catch a corner and then like he loses me. It's really not that big of a house, but there's a couple sneaky corners that you can lose people. Anyway, or I do. Well, there's lots of places I could hide. So I do that sometimes with him. I do it with my dog too, but so I catch myself in these moments of there's crumbs everywhere. There's crumbs on the floor. There's crumbs on the countertop, stuff like that, right? It just annoys me. So those moments when I get pissed off, basically, right? Or like grossed out or whatever, annoyed, then I remind myself, I don't want to keep living this reality. And the more I get mad about this every day, the more I keep reliving this day, this moment. I'm reliving this moment. I've lived it many, many times, and it needs to stop. Like me talking about it right now is not helpful in the least bit, but I'm giving you an example that's not life or death over here. It's really, well, it feels like it at times, but it's really not that big of a deal. It is though, but I'm just saying. Because, whenever you talk about something that you don't want, you're going upstream. Like Abraham Hicks says, we're going upstream with those thoughts. So even if you're joking about it, it's just like, so what I do is I catch myself, like I say, and think or daydream or talk about how I want it to be. And even better, if you can do it in the now. Like I've said a couple times, like our housekeeper's off today, stuff like that, like where is the housekeeper? Or I gotta hire a housekeeper, because that's more, well, it may or may not be upstream or downstream, depending on how you feel about hiring people or hiring a housekeeper, because that could come with its own issues around money or people in your house or finding somebody who's good, stuff like that can be upstream. So you have to pay attention to how that feels. So for me, it's like, kind of a thing. But sometimes I feel really good about it. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I bet there's somebody here in town. Oh, I know there are. That would be a really great housekeeper. And then I just drop the subject. So that's what we're talking about. Like, if you keep reliving the same moment, think about it in your life. Think about the moments, because like I said, this happens quite often. And the stronger desire I have for a clean house. So I have the desire for a clean house. And when I focus on a dirty house, I get more of a dirty house. So when I have a strong desire for a clean house, like I talk about it, and especially if I talk about it in front of my husband or to my husband, it does help him. He really, really pays attention to what I say and what's important to me. So it does help occasionally, not to manipulate anyone, but it is what it is. I do love a clean house. So sometimes when I point something out that's dirty, or I honestly do get upset sometimes, like overwhelmed if other things are going on and then my whatever's dirty, then it does make him aware. But it's not totally necessary. It's just one of those moments that I have a moment. But a lot of times I don't have to say anything. And it's just my strong desire for a clean house that I swear this week has been, or this past week has been absolutely magical, of things manifesting so easily just by my thoughts. And so like I'll think about it, not say anything to him, and then he'll like do that. Whatever it is that I'm thinking about, he will do that. And so often it's like really quick. It's really quick. And I'm sitting there like, I was just thinking about that. That's crazy. And so focus on what you desire. So if you come across these daily occurrences that you don't like, and you're focused on those things that you don't like, you're just recreating it again and again and again by your focus on it. So each day, to kind of snap out of this reality that you're creating, the same reality every day, pay attention and then to those things and change it. Change the thought around it. Change it. Because that's the only way that you can change your reality is by first changing the thoughts about it. So for me, I start daydreaming about the housekeeper that she's got off, she's off today. Or I think about the house. Like our next house has marble, everything, and the floors are absolutely spotless and beautiful and clean, because mine is saltillo tile and it's old and it needs to be redone. And so it's like a pain with crumbs. So anyway, you know what I mean? Like when a house is like newer and cleaner and like has been really kept up, like this house is like 3 years old, I think. Only one person who has lived in it, but newer houses are easier to clean than older houses. Older houses have like 40 years of grime somewhere, you know what I mean? It like builds up, and then like over time it's like, especially if you have a few owners that didn't take good care of it, then it's like, and then anyway, I'm going upstream. But so I daydream about these things. I daydream about the staff that we're going to hire, and, not just one housekeeper. It's going to be a few, I'm sure. And like, I'll start thinking about like, well, if it's not actually a live-in, then it'll be like this team, and how often are they going to come in? I think these thoughts, and, some people would be like, that just seems like a waste of time and energy and thoughts. And it's like, well, thinking about the crumbs that are everywhere is not very helpful either. Or not either, but it's not helpful. But daydreaming about your future kitchen and not, trying to more or less think about it in the now. If you can picture yourself in that kitchen now, like I have pictures. Where are my pictures? I'm looking at my vision board right now. It's not the same house. I have a different house that I took pictures of. It's not that house. So my morning routine the last week, since I created this second desk, this standing desk that's up against my wall, and I have this bigger screen that's up, elevated, I can sit at my regular sitting desk while I'm doing my morning writing. My 2021 manifestation list, like the things that I'm visualizing every single day this year until they manifest. Up on the screen on my big desk, I have playing the video of the tour of the house that we're manifesting. The last realtor who had the listing did a whole like 10-minute thing and goes room to room showing this house off, and I play that on a loop every morning. And in the background, I don't want to listen to him, but in the background, I have another video playing on YouTube of relaxing music, like meditation music. And so I'm sitting at my desk and I have the music playing, so peaceful. And I have this house playing, so I can, every time I look up, I see it. And I just keep seeing it every single day. And I'm writing my manifestations, which one of them, of course, has to do with this house. And so I'm seeing the pictures every single day. I'm picturing myself walking through that house. I know that floor plan so well. And that's what I do. I like get to know a floor plan of a house that I want to have. And I'm such a real estate stalker, but I'm like a detective figuring out every nook and cranny of a house by every picture I can find, using every picture I can find and every video and everything I can possibly figure out the floor plan, and of course, if they have an open house, which I've been to many, but not this house, because it went off the market at the beginning of this year, which was super promising for me. It was just like, okay, it's going off the market again, second time in 3 years, because it's getting ready for me. Or I'm sorry, it's not getting ready for me. I'm getting ready for it, right? I'm getting in the vibration of owning that house. I'm getting into the vibration of living in that house. It's my work to do. The house is the house, and it knows. So for me, it's a really great thing that it went off the market, because I've done this numerous times where I didn't manifest the house that's on the market and it sells to someone else. And then I get a little discouraged by that, because I'm like, oh shit, it's not what happened. So this time it went off the market, it did not sell. So I'm like, okay, she's going to take a little bit of a break and she'll be back, or I will be knocking on her door wanting to buy the house. We'll see. So that's what I have to do to save my sanity, and for this kitchen of mine, or the cleanliness of my house. I have to catch my attention of my thoughts and put them somewhere else. Usually it's on that, or something entirely different. I have to take my focus and put it somewhere else, of things that I am manifesting. Or I turn on good music and just be happy, because that works too. So, tomorrow is a long one. I'm just looking ahead for tomorrow. It seems like I'll do like 2 podcast episodes in one sitting these days. And the first one will be like 30 or more minutes, and the second one's like 15 minutes. I just talk a lot in the first one, and the second one I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little winded. So I'm going to leave you with that, since it's Monday. And stop by my YouTube channel and say hi. Let me know where you're listening to this from. And I would love to hear. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you know anybody who, and like the video, I probably have never said that, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But if you know anybody who is also into law of attraction, if something resonates with you that might help someone else, send them the link to whatever episode would help them. So there you go. Okay, have an amazing first day of the month of February, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye, guys.